tried the little blue pill or one like it and found it's just not working for you? I'm Dr. Chaturvedi, psychiatrist and clinical researcher, and today I'm going to explain the number one reason your medication may not be delivering the results you want. Now, a lot of men experience this. You get a prescription for a medication like Sildenafil, which is also known as Viagra, or Tadalafil, also known as Cialis, and you go home taking it, expecting it to work, and then guess what? Nothing. It's incredibly frustrating, and you can be left wondering, is there something I did wrong? Is this pill a dud? And really the truth is, the reason these drugs often fail has less to do with the medication itself and more to do with a single mistake. This mistake triggers a powerful chemical reaction in your body that actively works against the pill. Now, in my clinical practice, I see this psychological sabotage undermining what should be a successful experience all the time. And today, we're going to talk about what that mistake is, the simple science behind it, and how you can fix it. Now, if you're new here, I create educational content focused on men's mental health and well-being every week. If you find this video helpful, I hope you'll subscribe and share it. So let's be honest about what that moment of failure feels like. It's not just physical, it's a huge psychological blow that creates a deep sense of anxiety. You might start to dread intimacy, not because you don't desire your partner, but because you're afraid of failing again. This fear can create a vicious cycle. The more you worry, the harder it is to perform. Now, you might find yourself in a state where instead of being present and enjoying the moment with your partner, you're an anxious spectator of your own body. You're constantly monitoring yourself and you're asking, is this working yet? Is anything happening? When you're stuck in your head like that, you're no longer connecting with your partner. This is exactly where the problem starts, and it's why your mind can be the biggest obstacle. When you're in this state, your brain is accidentally producing the very chemical that stops erections. To understand this mistake, you need to know a little bit about your nervous system. Your body has two primary modes: rest and digest, and fight or flight. The rest and digest mode is your state of calm and relaxation. Your blood is flowing freely, your heart rate is steady, and your body is at ease. This is the only state where an erection can happen easily. An erection is actually a sign of deep physiological relaxation. The fight or flight is your body's alarm system. When your brain senses a threat, whether that's a real danger or the mental stress of fearing failure, it hits the alarm. It floods your body with stress hormones, and the main one is adrenaline. Adrenaline's job is to get you ready to fight or run, so it sends the blood to your major muscles and away from things that aren't essential for survival, like erections. It becomes much more difficult to obtain an erection when you're in a state of high alert. Now, here's the key. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and a perceived one. The anxiety you feel about your performance is a threat signal to your brain. So what is the single biggest mistake men make? It's taking the pill and then anxiously waiting and worrying for it to work. That period of performance anxiety is the ultimate saboteur. When you take a pill and then spend the next hour stressing about whether it will work, you're putting your brain into a fight or flight mode. Your brain responds by pumping out adrenaline. And here is the most critical piece of information. Adrenaline is a powerful vasoconstrictor, meaning it clamps down on blood vessels. So in a hospital setting, if a patient has a painful, prolonged erection that won't go down, a condition called priapism, what do doctors inject directly into the penis to solve it? A synthetic version of adrenaline. So let that sink in. By getting anxious, you are producing the very chemical that doctors use to reverse an erection. You're taking a pill to open your blood vessels, but your anxiety is flooding your body with a hormone that clamps them shut. It's a chemical tug of war, and your anxiety often wins. So the solution isn't always a different pill or a higher dose. It's a shift in your approach to create the right psychological environment for the medicine to work. So here's the fix. Take the pill and then let go. Take it and forget it. Take your medication as recommended, usually about an hour before for the Sildenafil and up to 2 hours for Tadalafil, and then do your best to forget you even took it. Think of the pill as a background tool, not the main event. The goal of intimacy is connection and shared pleasure, not just a mechanical performance. Shift your focus completely away from your erection and onto your partner. Engage in real foreplay, talk, touch, and explore what feels good for both of you without any pressure for it to lead somewhere specific. So you got to remember, these pills don't create an erection out of thin air. They work when you are genuinely sexually stimulated. True arousal comes from being present in the moment and from that connection. When you focus on pleasure, arousal will follow, and the pill will be there in the background to help support the physical process when it's needed. Now, while anxiety is the biggest issue, a few other common errors can get in the way. So mistake number one is taking it with a high-fat meal. This is a big one for Sildenafil, which is Viagra. If you take it after a heavy meal like burger and fries, your stomach can significantly delay the absorption of the drug. It might take longer to work or feel weaker. For best results, take Sildenafil on an empty stomach. Now, Tadalafil, Cialis, is less affected by food. Mistake number two is bad timing. You have to give the medicine time to get into your bloodstream. Sildenafil takes about an hour to reach its peak effectiveness, while Tadalafil can take up to 2 hours. So initiating sex too soon is a common reason for what seems like failure. You have to plan ahead. Now, mistake number three is mixing it with too much alcohol. Whiskey dick is real. While a single glass of wine might not be an issue, heavy drinking can make it difficult to get erections, pill or no pill. So alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, and it can interfere with the brain signals needed for arousal, reduce blood flow, and numb sensation. So it essentially works against what you're trying to achieve and can even make the ED medication less effective. Now, medication number four is giving up too soon. Many men try a pill once, have a bad experience, often because of that first time anxiety, and decide it doesn't work. This is a mistake. Providers often recommend trying a medication on several different occasions. Some say up to 8 times before calling it quits. Now, to summarize, the biggest mistake millions of men make is getting trapped in a cycle of performance anxiety, which floods the body with erection-killing adrenaline. You simply cannot be anxious and relaxed at the same time. It is impossible. So the fix is to consciously shift your focus from performance to pleasure. Trust the medication to do its job by creating the right environment for it, one of relaxation and genuine connection with your partner. And please, if you're struggling with erections, discuss it with your doctor. Erectile dysfunction can be what we call a canary in the coal mine. And what I mean by that is it can be the first sign of underlying vascular or heart issues. So it's important to get your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar checked. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please like the video, subscribe, and share this with someone who you think it may help. And as always, I will see you in the next video.